Okay, so I was feeling the calling to share spider medicine with you when I was reading the entire third agreement over and over again in my head. I heard and I saw spider, and I heard that repetition, share spider medicine with them. So this is a animal medicine collection that I grew up with this, and my mother had it and passed it down to me, and there are different editions. So I have a newer edition than my mom's, which has a couple of more animals at the back, but it's Medicine Cards by Jamie Sams and David Carson. And I'm going to share spider medicine with you, which is the number 43, and it's associated with weaving. And there's a little poem along with a beautiful sketch of the animal within the medicine wheel to protect its sacred wisdom that it needs to share with us. Spider weaving webs of delight, weave me a peaceful world, carrying creation in your web, wanting to be unfurled, waiting to be unfurled. So each animal has a certain wisdom that it carries with it, that it's trying to share with humans and presents to the world at large. And many of them are pretty obvious. Ants are all about family and teamwork and patience, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Any animal, even if they're not in this book, has a certain essence, like the bee, and the butterfly being cycles. What cycle are you in your life, in the four major cycles of life? Lizard's about dreaming and the dream time. Snake is about transmutation through addressing your fear. Each animal has its medicine to share, but in particular, spider today wants to come out and say, hey. So I'm going to get on with spider medicine, and it is an honor to share this animal's wisdom with you. Spider wove the web that brought humans the first picture of the alphabet. The letters were part of the angles of her web. Deer asked Spider what she was weaving and why all the lines looked like symbols. Spider replied, "Why, dear, it is time for Earth's children to learn to make records of their progress in their Earth walk." Dear answered Spider, "But they already have pictures that show through symbols the stories of their experiences." "Yes," Spider said, "but Earth's children are growing more complex, and their future generations will need to know more. The ones to come won't remember how to read the petroglyphs." So it was that Spider wove the first primordial alphabet. As she had woven the dream of the world that became manifest, Spider's dream of the physical world had come to fruition millions of years before. Spider's body is made like the number 8, consisting of 2 lobe-like parts connected at the waist and 8 legs. Spider is the symbol for the infinite possibilities of creation. Her 8 legs represent the 4 winds of change and the 4 directions on the medicine wheel. Spider weaves the webs of fate for those who get caught in her web and become her dinner. This is similar to humans who get caught in the web of illusion in the physical world and never see beyond the horizon into the other dimensions. The web of fate also represents a wheel of life, which does not include any alternatives or solutions. It is typically human to get caught in the polarity of good or bad fortune without realizing that we can change it at any time. If we are not decisive enough about changing our lots in life, we may end up being consumed by our fears and limitations. Spider is the female energy of the creative force that weaves the beautiful designs of life. Her web has hundreds of intricate patterns which catch the morning dew. If Spider has dropped from her web into your cards today, she may be telling you to create, create, create. Look for new alternatives to your present impasse. She can also be warning that you are coming too close to an entangling situation. Spider could be asking you to use a journal to write out and review your progress. If you do this, you will not forget how you are creating a new or different phase in your life. Spider brings a message of a different kind when she sees you becoming a bit too involved in the weaving of your life plans to notice opportunity at the outskirts of your web. Excuse me. If this is the case, Spider gets your attention so that you notice that something you have woven has borne fruit. Congratulations. Spider caught you just in time before you missed the opportunity on the edge of your web of reality. The most important message from Spider is that you are an infinite being who will continue to weave the patterns of life and living throughout time. Do not fail to see the expansiveness of the eternal plan. So, there's a contrary aspect to Spider, and I'm going to share that because I like the well-rounded views. So if you're struggling and Spider is sharing a message with you, it could be contrary Spider. So the contrary aspect of Spider is akin to the negative side of woman. Spider will eat her mate if she gets too caught up in herself to see the validity of honoring male energy. The warrior at her side is a strong balancing force. If you have become disdainful of your mate, male or female, and have felt very superior recently, you are not honoring either your male or your female side. If you are not presently in a relationship, you may have chosen a member of your family or a workmate to harass. This type of negative criticism only breaks down relations and is a reflection of something you hate about in yourself. If you are trying to feed your ego in this manner, you have lost the game. You are entangled in the web of your own illusions about who you really are. It may be time to look at why you are being critical and why you are feeling so weak that you must attack others. If this does not apply to your situation, take a look at another message that contrary Spider medicine brings: lack of creativity. If you fail to use your talents to get the web spinning, your lack of creativity can change into destructiveness. If you are feeling stagnant and unable to move in a positive direction, you may come to resent others who are doing well. This resentment will become a black widow spider and eat you up, and the only one to mourn your demise will be you. Get moving, find joy and new ideas in the accomplishments of others, and use them to propel you in a new phase of creative spinning on your own web of delight. Observe Spider's web and find pleasure in the ideas you receive from her universal language. So there's some Spider medicine. And while I was reading Spider medicine, I was thinking about how important and sacred the act of dreaming in New Earth is, and how underrated the act is. We're not talking about it really. It's the spiritual community in general hasn't even really touched much on it. But the reality switch will only happen through our consciousness unifying a new earth. And that means that there will have to be enough of us that are spending time dreaming it up, visualizing it, experiencing it as often as we can, pulling as many aspects of what that new earth will look like into our reality. For example, I firmly believe that part of what New Earth has to offer is a deeper and much more aware connection to Mother Earth. And part of that is going to include our consumption and how we consume what we're consuming. So that a very necessary factor of New Earth is going to be able to sustainably provide for ourselves in a way that is in homeostasis with Mother Earth. And that balance means that we're not taking more than we need. Growing your own food, growing plants, harvesting vegetables, understanding the mycology of permaculture and the ground, the soil, and understanding how we are not connected with what we're consuming, understanding how all of that will be shifting. So part of how I am bringing New Earth in and aspects of New Earth into my reality now is by planning on feeding myself and others around me, re-establishing that sustainable connection between Mother Earth and the life force that she gives us, and our consumption. And there are many ways that we can do it. Every time you're creative, you are pouring energy into New Earth. So Spider Medicine asks us to think about how we're dreaming and what we're dreaming and why we're dreaming. And it encourages us, Spider encourages us to create, to dream, and to go forth and put those dreams into action. So thanks so much for sharing that Spider Medicine with me. And I'm sending you blessings. Keep your eyes open for whatever animals you see, whether it's the blue jay or the fly or the butterfly or the ant or whatever animal it is that comes into your reality has a message for you. And if you take a moment to connect with that animal in that space, they may share their medicine with you. And that is indeed a sacred act. Loving y'all today.